I just had to get that out. Okay. So, what else? So the beams are sliced. Okay? Just like a demolition. But are not... Sorry, I'm trying to find my place here in the article. The steel support beams of the building demolitions are not characteristics of steel beams that have been burned in a fire. Well, that fits too, okay? When the 9/11 Commission report was finally released, it was woefully inadequate. It never even addressed the collapse of the Building 7, for example. Not to mention, yeah, they don't even go on. Building 7 happened later. Nobody wants you to know about Building 7, so Google it. World Trade Center 7, WTC. Go to Google and put YouTube, WTC7, and see what you get. Former FBI Director Louis Freach has stated that there are inaccuracies in the report and unanswered questions. And remember, this is Senator Karen Johnson here. This is her article. I'm assuming, unless somebody put it under her name. I am hoping I'm not wrong here. Anyways, unanswered questions. Well, yeah, and everybody's got them, and we're not going away. Even the two chairmen of the 9/11 Commission, Thomas Keane and Lee Hamilton, have accused the CIA of obstructing the commission, and one commissioner, U.S. Senator Max Cleland, resigned, stating that the commission was a compromised. Private individuals with specialized knowledge, scientists, engineers, architects, demolition experts, and firefighters, and police officers who were on scene on September 11th, 2001, have tested theories, constructed models, provided testimony, and dug for the truth about what really happened on 9/11. They have been ignored by the media and the government, but not by the people who have the questions, because their answers fit their questions. They understand why. And I do too. The mainstream media parrot the less than credible conclusions of the 9/11 Commission without giving any thought to the many omissions and inconsistencies. In a truly free country, the press would ask hard questions and do real investigating. But this is not happening. It is here. It is on alternative films and alternative media sources, like here on Revolution Broadcasting, but not in the mainstream. I wonder why. Only the alternative media, such as internet news sites, there it is, us, have done any solid investigating. These events of 9/11 led immediately to the creation of the Department of Homeland Security, which is against us. We're not against them, they're against us. We're for truth, they're against us. So what does that say about them? And the passage of the Patriot Act. The doublespeak, right? Both of which deprive us of constitutional rights and have brought us to the brink of becoming a police state. Homeland Security is currently trying to force a national ID card down our throats, although some governors have politely, or not so politely, told Secretary Michael Cherfton where he can go. If we are going to sacrifice our freedom, there ought to be a very good reason. I don't think so. But that's what Senator Karen Johnson says. That's what a lot of senators seem to believe. So she must be reaching out to other senators somehow here in that sentence. I don't think there's any reason, any very good reason, to sacrifice our freedom, but this is what she says. She says if we are going to sacrifice our freedom, she thinks there ought to be a very good reason, and we have a right to know what that is. I agree we have a right to know what that is, but I don't agree we have to sacrifice our freedoms. But this senator is admitting and acknowledging we are sacrificing our freedoms. It isn't enough for government to say, trust me. It's way past time for Congress to authorize an independent investigation of 9/11, she says. That will consider the mass of new evidence that has been gathered in the past 7 years. The longer they stall, the more suspicious they grow. Very good article from Senator Karen A. Johnson op-ed. And it goes on and on and on here. That is there's a whole nother article just before that about Building 7, and it's regarding the drinking the 9/11 Kool-Aid, and I can read that for you here if you want, but first I'd like to share with you a very special song I call New Revolution. I don't know exactly what it's called because the artist Juliet Anarino, also one of the hotties for Ron Paul in the now treasured, coveted collector's hotties for Ron Paul calendar. By the way, we're in June now. Let's see who it is now. June's hottie is Mona Liv Gillen. Let me see. Let me pull it off my wall here. Mona Liv Gillen produces and stars in the popular Ron Paul Girl videos. Independently produced by Liv Films at www.livefilms.com with her partner, writer, director Jed Gillen. The videos have been seen by hundreds of thousands of people all over the world via the internet. They've also been featured on Fox News, ABC News, and CNN. In Liv's world, I support Ron Paul because I'm a libertarian. I don't believe government should have the right to tell us what we can and can't do with what is ours, like our bodies, you know, our property. Anyway, she also says, I don't believe citizens should be forced into funding social service programs. Having been raised on welfare, she probably didn't like Gravel then. Having been raised on welfare, I know firsthand that not only is the system unfair to the taxpayers, but it also does a gross disservice to the recipients as well. Very good. And she has some of her favorite quotes here. One of them's from Ron Paul. Entitlements do not satisfy the best interests of people. An entitlement system eventually destroys a country. It's a system that corrupts and invites a lot of abuse. That's Ron Paul. Albert Camus here is one of her other favorite quotes. The welfare of the people in particular has always been the alibi of tyrants. And her other favorite quote from C.S. Lewis is, of all tyrannies, a tyranny exercised for the good of its victims may be the most oppressive. And of course, Juliet Anarino is next month's hottie, July, so very significant since we're having our the significance of that is that we're on our way to DC in July. So this one's for Juliet Anarino. This is her song. I call it New Revolution 2.5. This is Tangent Talk on Revolution Broadcasting.
Sisters and brothers. Sisters and brothers. Sisters and brothers. It's time to come home. It's time. Sisters and brothers. It's time to come home. It's time to come brothers.